Is Joe Flacco dead ass?
Oh, louder.
Is Joe Flacco dead ass? Count hundreds on the table, 20s on the floor. Would you rather have a British or Australian accent?
No, we're not doing this.
What? I say
I'd
Australian.
Yeah, not even a question. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Nerd Soup. I am Bo Oliver, joined here today with Aaron, the Nerd Soup Monkey, and Teddy making his big return. You're doing the whole podcast today in no Australian accent, right?
Oi.
Are you just doing Butcher? Butcher. I guess if I had a British accent, bruv.
Brev.
I use bruv all the time now. I've taken that. I like that. I like that invention.
Where's yours from? Brev. I got
British. Yeah, British, bruv.
Oh, that's British?
Come on, bruv. What are you doing, bruv?
I got that from Usher, from Full of House of Usher.
Yeah, the British guy.
He's
The
British?
artist?
I thought he was Australian.
You talking about the dude from Midnight Mass, right? The guy who played the sheriff?
Yes.
Yeah, no, he's British. He's British, mate.
That wasn't Australian?
Surprising, isn't it? No, I'm pretty sure that guy's British.
I guess I got my accent
What's his name
mixed up.
again? I can't remember his name.
Leon or some shit? Was it
No,
Leon?
his actor name.
Oh.
You're like, what do you mean? That's sheriff. God, you fucked up. Oh, Rahul Kali. Yeah, no, he's definitely.
That sounds Australian.
He's British. He's English.
Yeah, but that sounds Australian.
And we're back to record our final podcast of the year. Look
What'd
at
you
this.
want from me?
We're doing a nice little fan question podcast. We actually got a lot of questions, I think, because I prefaced it as our final podcast. So everybody wanted to get there.
Yeah, start doing that more often.
Yeah. Well, final of the year. We didn't get a lot of questions when I said it was the final weekly podcast. We just got a lot of, well, we did get questions, mostly why. But no, we've got some good pop culture, sports, movies, TV, Teddy questions, Teddy specifically.
Here
So
we go.
that's always fun. What?
Well, I'm going to get put on blast or something?
Well, a lot of people were commenting about, on the last podcast, we talked about you lending out, refusing to lend out your N64 to Nash, but you
guys don't have all the facts, man.
Okay.
We'll get
Aaron
into
did
it.
present a biased look at the events, but
I was just reading what he was saying.
Oh.
it was biased.
No, I was
You
just
did
reading.
leave out some key information.
I was presenting the facts.
You left out the whole jailbreaking.
That was never said.
Yes, it was.
No, sure, but that's on you.
I can
You
only
reported
present,
without having all the facts.
I can only present what's given to me.
Yeah, but you have to wait for all the facts. You gather the facts, and then
I wasn't giving you facts, so who was giving you facts? Nash?
These were first-hand accounts from you and Nash.
So now I get put on blast.
Yeah, you hire a shitty lawyer and go to jail. That's on you.
You weren't my lawyer. I didn't hire you.
You chose to defend yourself.
No, I mean he's a journalist. Journalists don't get held responsible for anything.
That's true.
They're allowed to do whatever they want. But you did a poor job.
Can I sue him for like defamation of character?
Probably, yeah. No, I don't know if Nerd Soup's going to cover that, but
You don't have a legal team?
normally the company covers that. You might be on your own there. You're going to have to hire Teddy's lawyer.
You're on Judge Judy or something. I wonder how you get on those shows.
My dad was.
Was on Judge Judy?
Yeah, he was
What?
getting sued.
For what?
You know the wedding business we had, the video business?
Yeah.
This lady wasn't happy with the job she got from my dad, editing-wise.
Did he mail it in?
No, but he went on. What's pretty cool is that the show pays for everything, so you just got to go on and like represent yourself.
Some spooky
He lost.
Zelda beat. God, I hate Judge Judy. She's such a self-righteous asshole.
She
Judge
makes
Judy?
bread, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't know how much money
Can't
she makes.
stand her.
She makes stupid money.
She's such a your generation, my generation.
Yeah, well, so are we. We're the same way.
Yeah, no, I can't stand you either.
Oh yeah, I got a bone to pick with children. I was at the movie theater and it was packed with just a bunch of the youths, and so it's like a long line for concessions, and like they're in these groups and they're all fucking broke.
Mm-hmm.
And they go up to the stand, and it takes like a half hour for them to get through this line of kids because they all order separately.
Right.
They like stringing together money. So get it together. It was just packed with kids. It took me a legit 25 minutes from the line to get my popcorn and go to my seat.
It was sloppy.
I almost missed my movie, which leads me into another thing that's pissing me off. Is previews have gotten extremely longer. Have you noticed that?
Longer.
Yeah.
They don't even start. If the movie starts at 8 o'clock, the previews don't start now until like 8:10 at least. So it's a half hour now from start time, and then they slip in
That's good for me.
a commercial
Never going
in
to
the
the
middle of
movies
the
again.
previews. You got like
There's
3
slipping
previews,
commercials in?
then there's a commercial for like Hyundai, and then they do some more previews.
You can't go away from commercials, man. They're everywhere.
insane.
Ads are everywhere. It actually bothers me. And like now that like I'm watching YouTube a lot with Amelia, the ads for like kids' toys and shit, it's like you can see why when you were a kid you wanted something because it's like 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. It's like I think it's fucked up the way you try and trick kids' minds into wanting stuff.
I feel like toy technology hasn't advanced
You're playing with
much
kids' emotions and minds.
since we were
You're making
kids.
kids want a toy that they don't need. I think it's fucked up.
Like the toy technology, I think has been the same for like 20 years. We had no advancements in
No.
toys.
Well, like you mean like action figures and stuff?
Yeah, it's just the same shit. I'm not talking about like iPads
Like
and
castles,
stuff like
yeah.
that. Obviously, that's advanced, but like children's toys have pretty much been the same for the past 20 years.
Our toys were better though. Remember that big castle? That big castle, like
yeah,
the
it
fort
had a
game?
catapult.
Yeah,
Yeah, that shit was
it
awesome.
was sick.
People don't know about that. Except the wrestling. Remember the wrestlers and you would put on
The
the
ring?
ring and they would
Hell
play
yeah.
the music.
What else was big? Tamagotchis.
You have anything to add? Or you just didn't have a childhood?
That's for the fan to decide.
People you call up to the show, you better be ready. That's what you're supposed to do. Sitting there arguing and you're trying to spell your name and all of this other stuff. It's not your show, it's my show. I'm giving you the opportunity to speak your mind. Don't call up here unless you got something to say.
This question here from DK Rebs. Greta Gerwig as an actor or a director? Have you guys seen Greta Gerwig as an actor?
No.
All right, next question.
And Frances Ha. I mean, what else has she been in?
She was in White Noise last year, 21st Century Women, a couple other Noah Baumbachs.
That makes sense. I get it. Obviously a director. I think she's known now as just a director.
Yeah, no, I would say director.
Especially she's coming off of, I mean, she has Oscar nominations now, Oscar wins. Like, wait, did she win anything for Lady Bird?
No.
Yeah, well, nominations. Probably going to be nominated again with Barbie. So, yeah, I think she's cemented herself as still actor-director, but most prominently as a director.
Would you rather have like 10 nominations and no wins? Like, do you need that one win? Does that win mean anything? Because I feel like it's all biased anyway.
It's nice to
Oscar
have,
wins.
but if you have like one nomination, one win versus 10 nominations, I think I would take the 10.
Yeah, true.
That's just longevity right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got
usually
that
the
one
people
win,
with more nominations versus the one-time winner are usually better filmmakers.
Because like that one-off could be like just
Yeah, one-hit wonder.
popular. Yeah.
Crank That Soulja Boy type of thing. Well, he did have Kiss Me Through the Phone, so.
Yeah, come on.
He went on a run.
Put some respect. And if it wasn't for him, there would be no Drake, so.
No, Drake did copy a lot from Soulja Boy.
Come on.
He did. He stole his whole flow. He did. Kiss Me Through the Phone and Over. It's the same song.
I don't get how people say that. You try and listen to it. I don't hear shit like that. You can turn anything. Like, you can make any noise with editing into the song. Like, oh, this sounds just like it. Then with all the tweaking and editing, you just made a different song.
Yep.
So it's like every song is the same then at that point. And you can't, I'm not saying he copied Soulja Boy, but it's like, what if Soulja Boy influenced him a little bit?
I mean, does Drake having a ghostwriter for some of his songs, does that bother you?
No.
Okay.
He still has to perform it.
It is weird that
Drake can ghostwrite for me and I can't perform the song.
That's a fair point.
it is weird that we hold that standard for rap, but not other genres.
Like what?
Well, so many songwriters write a lot of popular songs sung by people you probably don't even
Yeah.
know about.
Oh,
But
100%.
For rap, it's like this taboo thing to do.
I find out all the time about these, but like hit songs are written by like 4 other people.
Ed Sheeran wrote the Justin Bieber song.
Yeah. That's what
yeah.
I'm thinking of right now.
That's gotta suck, right? Well, he already has hits, but like that was a big song. He just gave it out for. He probably got paid a lot.
Is he making
but-
money off of that? He's still making money off of that, right?
Probably.
Or is it like if you give like the song out, like if I wrote a song for you and I give it to you, that's it?
You probably get some royalty money or something like that.
Yeah, there's definitely royalties. Writing credits, without a doubt.
Yeah, what does that mean though?
It depends
Royalties?
Not the royalties, the writing credits.
Hey, put it on the resume. Pad the stats.
No, that's how people get sued for samples. If you sample a song and it has lyrics, like if you sample a soul song and then use that as your hook, you have to credit them as a writer. And if you don't, you can get sued for copyright. And then you usually have to pay back the royalties that you owe. That's why people are like, oh, all these Beyonce songs, why does she need so many writers? It's like, well, a lot of those writers are just people who are dead and who just wrote
She
the
just
songs
used
that
those,
were
yeah.
sampled. Yeah. They're like, oh, Taylor Swift writes all her own songs. And I'm like, I know.
Why is that why she's a goat?
Yeah, he's such a hater.
Sometimes you need some writers. Like Kanye loves using writers.
Yeah, you bounce ideas off.
Yeah, right. This question here, another one from DK Rebs. bringing us in. How did we get to that off of Greta Gerwig? I'll never know. Oh, your Oscar question. She wants to know, what was your Roman Empire of 2023?
Probably the Roman Empire.
I think a lot of men would just say that, yeah.
I mean, World War II, I think, is another one. As you get older, you just watch more shit on World War II.
Oh, yeah. Dude, on Netflix, I'm watching that shit. It's like a documentary in color of World War II. It's pretty fucking insane.
World War II or World War I?
World War II.
What is it called?
World War II in color, I think.
Probably World War II.
It's a very apt title.
I would love to be I wish... No, I'm not going to say it. If I could be a vet of any war, it'd be World War II. Having World War II in your resume?
Then you could have anything, be like, I'm not going to say it. If we just sit in silence long enough, he'll just end up saying it.
Yeah, under no pressure.
Why would you want to be World War II? That was like a pretty tough war.
But I want to put the World War II hat vet on. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right, put it
You know what I
on.
mean? No, I can't put it on.
Yeah.
Don't you have a family member who was in World War II?
My grandpa was in Vietnam.
No, you can get AARP.
Ooh, that's
Not-
tough. I know.
Vietnam's a tough one.
So I'm saying, like, imagine coming
Yeah.
home. I'd rather be I feel like the World War II vets are beloved.
No, it is definitely the most moral war. Well, actually, no. America has always been the good guys in every war that we fought. That's a
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
funny historical fact about America. We've never been the bad guys.
I can't remember a time. Then we're
Actually,
undefeated. We didn't
Right,
we
yeah,
didn't
no,
lose. We just left.
Quit, yeah.
Yeah. We're bored.
A lot of ties.
What, in Korea?
You still get a point for a tie.
But
Since
yeah,
World War II.
Roman Empire, World War II. I think those are the big ones, right? Or I like what was Alexander? Was he Roman?
Macedonian.
Yeah.
Good empire.
I love the sinking my teeth into like a good Wikipedia.
You like
just,
reading that much?
I just like I'll like watch something and I'll be like, oh, let me look into it a little bit. I forget everything the next day, but for that hour and a half, I'm like, I'm never gonna forget this information. It's just gonna make me a smarter person. I mean, you just lose all of it until that desire strikes again, and you reread it.
Like, if I
It's
see
a
it,
vicious cycle.
like, if I want to read something, but then when I see it's like 3 paragraphs long, it just turns me off and I don't want to read it. I'm a visual learner.
No, you're not. Because I've sent you video essays all the time. You never fucking watch them. You're like, yo,
When I
can
wanna
you
watch
explain
them.
this to me?
When I want to watch
And
it.
I'll be like, and you're like, I'm a visual learner, okay? You've wanted...
And then you'll
He-
send me a
He
45-minute
needs,
video.
He needs like graphs and diagrams and
Like, you're...
I've sent you a couple 15-minute...
That's
under
long,
10.
dude.
But you could podcast it while you're a visual learner. You won't remember any of it.
he's a visual learner, but he doesn't read. He uses audiobooks, which is nothing visual.
I still can't believe you stomped out The Shining. That was impressive.
I'm surprised I did that too. I don't know what motivated me to do it. I guess it was just good.
Well, in the last podcast, I mentioned how I sent you the map of Rome at its peak, and you were like, how did we lose all this? Like you were part of the empire. Like you were running with those boys.
I might as well be.
Oh,
It is
man.
just so funny.
They fell
that-
off.
Hey, man, it's hard to keep an empire. As they say, empires just be too damn big. Rome on HBO Max, I've never seen it. I started watching it recently. It's pretty good. Highest budgeted show at the time, $100 million for season 1. Sets are pretty awesome. A lot of Game of Thrones alum. Edmure Tully's Brutus.
Mhm.
Mance Rayder is Caesar.
Wait, is that why you sent me that stuff? Were you watching it at that time? What made you send me that? I was wondering what made
I
you
was
send me
just I was just Googling empires at its peak.
that. Were you really?
Yeah.
No, you weren't.
You're just sending Teddy homework.
Yeah, he does.
Bro got an F. I mean, the Roman Empire, man, it's a history of Europe. That's why it is funny to make fun of men who are obsessed with it. They did a lot of shit that we're still living with today, you know?
Mm.
Calendar, culture, the writing, the languages.
5-day work week. Was that them? It was a joke.
I think the Romans put that together.
They could have.
I learned a funny fact about them. Oh, the word lead comes from Roman. This is the Latin word for plumber.
Like lead, like a lead pipe.
Yeah, like lead pipes.
Mm.
Oh, no, plumber was the word for lead.
Mm.
And then
Oh, okay.
plumber, our word, just means, plumber, backbone of society.
Plumbers?
Yeah, man, they keep this shit going, literally.
Wasn't like that one of like the more like made huge advancements in society, like just for sanitation reasons?
Pipes?
Yeah, piping, plumbing, like an actual system.
Oh, yeah.
So people weren't just shitting on the side of the street or throwing it out their window.
Yeah, and we still, I mean, to this day, there's still so many lead pipes. We just didn't upgrade it until recently. Like those Romans, they can't lead us wrong.
Now,
Dude, I saw a post of like the medieval times toilets. They would just shit down the side of the castle. Wonder how bad. I just sat and thought, like, I wonder how bad they smelt.
That's
back
what I
in the
always
day.
think about. Like when I see like someone like Marjorie Tyrell, it's like, oh, she's bad. I'm like, she probably stinks so bad.
Only bathes once every 3 days.
They've just been out there just sweating.
No, well, they probably bathe more often than the commoners.
Yeah, but even then, it's probably like, oh, my weekly shower.
Weekly.
No deodorant.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they got perfumes.
No Old Spice.
They did? No, they didn't.
Yeah, but like probably
Yeah,
they
shitty
had perfumes back
perfumes.
then?
But you also have to imagine that your sense of smell was probably adjusted for that.
Mm.
You know, if you grow up your entire life just people smelling like that, you're going to get used to it.
That's true.
But I imagine the
No, but if I go a day without deodorant, dude, oh my God.
right,
gross.
you
It's
know,
bad.
it's like when you visit places where they just don't wear deodorant and they're like, why do you smell like so bad? Because of all the perfume that we wear, you know? If you haven't smelt that before, if you sprayed perfume on somebody's face who's never smelt perfume, they're probably feel like they,
Yeah, Axe body spray would fucking. You walk through like a fucking poverty stricken with a bunch of like peasants smell like Axe body spray. They'll just go down one by one.
yeah, if like medieval conquerors had Axe body spray, go back in time, just give like some one random tribe Axe body spray. All of a sudden, the whole world looks different. This question here from Lord_Marco. Marvel related question. Should Kang just be recasted or should they introduce somebody new? So yeah, Jonathan Majors was fired from Marvel after he was convicted of assault.
There was a post I saw where you can do. I really wish I remembered it, but there was a way that they can recast it without like messing up the timeline.
Yeah, you just recast them
Yeah, right? Is that what it was? You can just recast them?
because it's the multiverse and anybody can look like anybody.
That's true.
It's been done already. It's going to be continue to be done. So why not just do it with this character?
No, but this one actually made sense.
This makes sense.
No, you just saying to recast it essentially is the same thing, but there was a scenario that you can do to make it make sense. But I forgot what it was.
Just like, this is Kang from Earth 27. He looks like this. Just the same way
That's lazy though.
Same way John Krasinski is going to be in the Fantastic Four movie. They're just different Earths.
That's lazy.
Well, when you can enlighten us with this post that you saw that
I'm
you
thinking,
can't
yeah,
remember,
I
then
will.
you can rebuttal. But for right,
For
now,
I can't.
I win.
I can't say anything. Yeah.
I just fucking smoked you.
I could honestly care less what Marvel does with this.
Do you care about Marvel anymore?
Not really.
Not at all.
Me neither. It's sad. It's really sad from like coming from
And
where
it
they
has
were.
nothing to do with the MCU. Disney can just fuck off
I
forever.
agree.
Yeah, but it's like at this point, the momentum is to a screeching halt. So it's like maybe they just use this as an out to be like, hey, let's just try something else, and hopefully that works, and we get the same or as close to the same level of excitement that we had, 5 years ago.
Yeah, if they keep going the way they're going right now, they
I'm
ain't
sure
going anywhere.
Fantastic Four is going to do well, and the X-Men will generate some hype. I think Deadpool 3 will do pretty well at the box office, but other than projects like that, you really don't see any hype around. Like even Loki.
I honestly got no idea it was out. I just heard like 2 weeks ago that it was out. I heard good things though from Loki too.
I'm sure it's fine, but like the disinterest, especially superhero genre in general, like even what you're seeing with DC and Aquaman 2, like I think it's
Did Endgame ruin everything?
We're definitely on the other side of the peak, which was always going to happen. It's just natural. These movies weren't just going to keep coming out, keep being amazing,
Yeah.
and people are just going to keep watching. It's like what Spielberg said. It went the way of the Western, which is fine. We'll still get good ones. We'll still get great ones. Some will do well. Others won't. And,
Yeah, but
You'll
there was
never
a
be able
time
to
where
tell
you
the
wanted
story.
to go see the movies though. Like I wanted to go wait in line and watch the fucking
Oh,
Marvel
yeah.
movies. Now I can really care less about it.
But
I
it
think
is
streaming
natural,
did it
dude.
for me.
It's happened with every franchise. Fast and Furious used to make so much more, and now people don't come out and see them as much. Same thing with Transformers.
Just diluted, just too much.
It was an incredible run.
great run.
Can't tell the story of 2010 cinema without, for better or worse, without including the MCU. But in terms of,
Yeah, but what
Their
did
next
it?
big
Was it
bad?
just too much? Too much bad product coming out? Like to fall off like that? That's just crazy.
I mean, when you look at the quality of their movies compared to some of the earlier ones, and you look at this past year, which has probably been their worst year in some time, it's about the same. Maybe worse, a little consistently worse these days. But yeah, they've just started rushing things, and they were on top of the world. Typical Roman Empire. They were like, oh, we're gonna just do this forever. This is
Yeah.
amazing. Nobody's ever gonna challenge us.
Yeah, they did go the way of the Roman.
Just a lot faster. Jonathan Majors, talk about fall from grace. This time last year, we were talking about how I saw an old tweet. It was our Loki review. And somebody was like, this aged horribly. It was our Loki finale. It was like half the finale is us talking about the finale. The other half is us fangirling over Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, you can't put that on us, though.
No, of course not.
You know?
But it's just, this guy was...
Whatever happened to that movie that I think was supposed to come out this year? Did they just scrap that? It premiered at Sundance. I forget the name of it. He's like a bodybuilder. I heard really good things about it, and then it just never either released or was just on the hush.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard about any... I haven't heard anything about it since. But I remember when that was coming out, that was supposed to be his awards push.
Speaking of which, you see our boy Dwayne, our boy DJ?
Without him.
He's going to do a A24 movie about wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
He's going for that Oscar push finally.
Finally, yeah.
After Skyscraper. All the momentum he built up from Skyscraper.
Yeah, I like that for him.
Magazine dreams.
Yeah, that's it.
Why is wrestling movies are in right now, huh?
I feel like you can always drop a good wrestling movie and people will have some excitement for it.
We need a movie about Ric Flair.
Eh.
What do you mean, eh?
I would love a Vince McMahon biopic.
Yeah, true. That's going to be a good one.
That'd be but you would need to do it without him involved.
He'd have to
or
be dead.
stopping everything, yeah.
Yeah, you won't let anything bad come out, right?
No.
Or a nice satire, alternate universe, new wrestling, new guy, different league, different names, but
Everything he did.
same exact character. Played by Gary Oldman.
Young Vince?
I don't know
Or
anything.
Prime Vince.
I don't know anything really bad. Like what? I don't know anything about Vince McMahon. What?
He's
Like,
just like,
was he just a scumbag of an owner?
I think from the stories you hear, he's one of those guys people talk about and they're like, they respect him, like a genius, did all this stuff, but like it was very his way or the highway type deal. I don't really know too much about it, like, yeah, all the personal shit, but from like what you get a sense that like he wasn't afraid to either rule with an iron fist or backstab or try to get his way. And also probably maybe not to the extent, or maybe to the extent, like how the NFL dealt with and kind of tried to suppress some things when it came to head injuries and stuff like that. I'm sure there's a fucking
I know there's one
basement
video.
full of bones when it comes to all that in the WWE, especially with steroid abuse and drug use and all that type of deal.
There's one video I know for a fact of a guy that died in the ring, and Vince was like hid the footage for good.
Oh, yeah, he's an absolute scumbag.
Owen Hart?
Is that his name? He fell from like 30 stories
Yeah, it was
high.
Owen Hart.
Yeah.
Yeah. That thing used to be so fucking wild back in the day. Remember the bra and panty matches?
The what?
The bra and panties matches?
No.
When the way they would take the two women wrestlers, put them in the ring, and the only way to win was to strip the other one.
Oh, I do remember that actually. Yeah.
That's like when you think of like America.
Bro.
It's like NASCAR racing, Budweiser, and bra and panties matches. Wrestling.
What happened to wrestling? Like wrestling, I used to love wrestling.
I
It
think
used
if
to
you
just look
ask,
so real. Now it's
Oh.
it's a soap opera now.
No, I think
Unless it was back then.
I know.
We
I
were just
think
kids.
growing up, it was more soapy. They had people dying in storylines
Oh.
and coming back to life. I think now it's much more, I guess, grounded in certain senses.
Yeah, but it's like
I
I
think if
watch
you
it
ask-
now. I'm like, why did I like this when I was a kid?
I think if you ask wrestling fans, I think they say it's probably evolved into like it's better than it has been over the past 10 years.
Can you sit and watch wrestling?
I never got into it as a kid, but
Even right now,
some of the
wrestling is
old
on,
clips, dude, you watch, and they're incredible feats of athleticism, truly, and stunt work.
I think it had its peaks probably around when we were kids, and I think it fell off a little. I think it's starting to come back on the uptick now a little bit.
I feel like the trend was everything was good when we were kids.
That seems to be a reoccurring trend for people in their 30s.
I don't know if that was a dig at me or not.
No, that's just like every
Dig
generation.
at society.
There was a thread I saw. It was headlines of saying, "Oh, young people don't want to work anymore," and it literally going back to the 1890s.
Are we the young people in the 30s or no?
No, we're at this point. Because the other day Cam is complaining to me about kids don't want to hustle anymore.
How old's Cam? So
Cam, 22,
he's 22?
because he's got
What's he saying? 15-year-olds don't want to hustle?
he's got like high school interns and like freshman and college interns working for him now.
No,
So
you gotta
he's,
be
like, in
self-aware.
charge.
High school kids don't want to
Oh
work.
no, but
man.
Cam's yeah, exactly. Like Cam, yeah, you've
You gotta know what you're
transitioned
getting.
into what you want to make your career. These kids don't give a fuck about that.
That's hilarious.
No, as soon as you get the chance, you start complaining about the young kid.
No, everything I complain that kids do, I've did.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I went to the movies
We were
with
those
a
kids
group
that
of
did
friends and just taking forever on the line to figure out what you want or try to get everything together.
Obnoxious in the theater.
Not obnoxious in the theater.
Imagine hearing the shit that we've done in theaters. Like,
Oh,
as an
God.
older guy.
No,
like,
yeah.
listening to what they're doing, screaming and horror movies. I'd want to kill you. And we're sitting there thinking it's hilarious. Right before the scary part, you yell.
I'm more critical of our generation. I think our generation, we've got like this whole can't let go of our childhood thing more so than any other generation. And it's just like the music. Everyone's just listening to the music that they listened to in 2008.
Yeah,
Harry Potter, nothing beyond that. It used to be like those types of books were a gateway to more books. It's just like, no, that's the best book I've ever read.
Yeah, we find what we like and we stick to it.
This question here from Allison, longtime listener. Shout out, Allison.
Counterpoint: Gen Z is trying to cancel Eminem, so
Still?
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, go ahead, Gen Z. So ahead of the game when it comes to that. He needs to be canceled. Not of anything offensive, but just,
stop rapping.
yes.
Yeah, stop rapping. I agree with, yes.
I don't even think they're offended. They're just like, why?
Don't you know when to quit?
I feel bad for all the shit I've given Eminem because he had a great prime.
One of the best, if not the best.
You have a favorite Eminem verse?
Eminem verse, maybe in Rock Bottom. Second verse.
That's a classic. That's every white guy's favorite
What?
song. Rock Bottom. No, it is true. It's just that's the anthem. I think Rock Bottom and Dear Mama by Tupac. They're not two songs that white guys love more.
No,
real.
it's the. No, I got one
I
better.
played that song for my mom.
What's the Biggie song?
Oh, Sky's the Limit.
No,
Juicy?
not Juicy.
Notorious
Um,
Thugs.
Long Kiss Goodnight.
No, fuck. What is it? Something freestyle.
I got 738. Nah,
Yeah.
smack.
Yo, that's
every-
my high school anthem.
Every white kid in high school loved that song.
I
was a
still
biggie.
can't believe you think Tupac had the better verse.
Yeah, I think it's the way he raps it.
Putting all the holes in your sweater.
The
I
money
love
gets
it.
a motherfuckers. Rolex
Don't
watches,
resist,
the
or you
colorful
might
swatches.
miss- Yeah, come on, man. Tupac was going off.
It's just the way he raps. He's so
No,
confident.
Tupac's delivery is what made him special.
He's
truly.
so confident,
Yeah.
man.
We're
He's the
such
most charismatic
fucking-
rapper of all time.
Such fucking losers. I hated Tupac because I was like, no, Biggie, that's East Coast, man, New York.
That's my guy, man.
Such a fucking dweeb.
You know nothing that's going on in the
Had
beef.
no idea. Listened to probably 3 songs from each guy. I was like, nah, man, Biggie,
That's our
man.
town, man. Come on.
East Coast.
If somebody from Brooklyn heard us saying that,
That's
a couple Long Island kids saying, oh, we got a rep. Represent. All right, guys, before we get to the second half of this episode, we're going to take a quick moment to shout out our sponsor for our last pod of 2023, and that would be ExpressVPN. With the holiday season winding down, you still have the opportunity to give yourself the gift of ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN is an app that lets you change your online location. This lets you trick Netflix into giving you a whole new library of content because, if you didn't know, Netflix has different shows in every country. Ever heard of The Office? Well, you can't watch it on US Netflix, but the UK Netflix has you covered. And that's the American Office on the UK Netflix. A little confusing, but I think you'll figure it out because it's as simple as firing up your ExpressVPN app on your computer or TV. You can change your location to any country, refresh Netflix, and that's it, a whole new library. But it's not just with Netflix. It's pretty much every streaming service. ExpressVPN helps you access more content all across the board. YouTube, Max, Prime, whatever it is, you name it. There are many VPNs on the market, but what separates ExpressVPN from the rest of the pack is, you guessed it, speed, speed, speed. There's never any buffering or lag, and all of your shows will stream in HD quality. It's so HD that I feel like I'm actually in the movie. On my Blue Skidoo, you can too type of shit, just jump right in the screen. So if you're sick of all the cheesy shows on Netflix this holiday season, gift yourself a brand new library of content. Go to expressvpn.com/nerdsoup right now, and you can get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. That's expressvpn.com/nerdsoup. Visit expressvpn.com/nerdsoup to learn more. This question from Allison.
Representing BK to the fullest.
Will 2024 or 2025 show more evidence of the strikes in terms of selection? I really don't know. I think maybe 2024 because so many of these shows that maybe were supposed to be coming out soon they're going to be a bit delayed. But it's going to be interesting to try and or just see it play out and notice some of the weird releases and shows that were scheduled that aren't coming out.
Why, is that strike still going on?
No, it was resolved, but it was how many months that they weren't working on certain productions. Like, I don't know when Deadpool 3 is supposed to come out, but I know the date changed.
Elena's uncle is a casting director, so he was just getting back to work.
Oh, right.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Casting director. Like, I had to work for a while, huh?
It's definitely something that will be noticeable. This question here from Franz, NFL Super Bowl predictions.
I feel like there's like 6 teams right now that if shit breaks the right way, they can get it.
Yeah, it's
But
tough. Even
I
in
feel
the
like the front
NFL coming
runner-
down to the end of the year, somebody could get hurt.
Maybe the Ravens. They're playing real good football.
I would love to see that. Would love to see it. And still, to this day, Lamar Jackson gets so much bullshit from these so-called analysts. I saw one guy saying, like, I want my guy to be more quarterbacky.
What's the same
Guy's been playing quarterback like this for 5 or 6 years at this point. Like, when is the inevitable fall-off going to happen? Everyone's like, well, the wheels are going to fall off every year.
I think
I mean, you can't put the Niners out. You can't put the Cowboys, the Eagles. There's so many teams this year that can win it.
Well, I
God,
think
Cowboys, just when you think they're going to take off and
I know.
lay an egg.
I know. They have a big win against Miami, then they get shit on by the Bills.
I think every team is definitely beatable. I think when you look at the Chiefs, I think a lot of people are like, all right, they're playing like dog shit, but it wouldn't surprise me if they just figure it out by the playoff
Yeah,
time.
me
and
neither,
just
100%.
run through the AFC. And we're
They're
like, oh
playing
yeah,
so
that's
bad.
why Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback ever.
Well, I'm waiting all year for that fucking offense to take off, and they didn't do shit all year. The one year I take Kelsey and Mahomes, and they do nothing.
They'll figure it out, I think. Might be Ravens and Niners, really. I think the Niners, obviously, they got their shit handed to them, but I think you can...
The Rams are playing good football. If shit breaks their way for them, I mean, anything can happen in any game.
So many teams have problems.
The Browns.
The Eagles are playing like fucking dog shit. The Browns are playing really well. I don't know if it's going to last too long, but it's a cool story if Joe Flacco can like win them a playoff game or something.
I'd love to see that. I don't know why I like Flacco so much.
He's just a guy.
He's a likable guy, right?
Yeah. Well, I think he just had that sick run in the playoffs, won that Super Bowl.
What team did he slut out yesterday? They played yesterday, right? He had like 300 yards in the first half.
3 touchdowns too.
Yeah.
That was against the... Who were they
Jets.
playing? Oh.
Jets. Wait, you weren't joking around?
No, I didn't remember. I totally... Somebody sent me Flacco's got 300 yards in the first
I thought
half,
you were
and I
being
just looked at
sarcastic.
it, and I was like, damn. I couldn't even tell you who Flacco played for until you guys just said it.
That's hilarious, dude.
Shout out to the boy helping our draft positions.
I kind of thought the Jets were a Super Bowl contending team, but it's like now that I'm thinking about it, like teams that are quarterback
that roster
away.
doesn't look like...
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, like teams that, like, if you say are quarterback away, stay in games.
Yeah, we have at
You
least...
guys can't stay in a game.
We had 4 games that we would have won
you
with
guys
the
kinda
quarterback.
suck.
Then we're 10-5 right now. And this AFC, yeah, of course we could compete for.
That's
the
not
Super
that
Bowl.
strong of an argument.
I'm
And
saying
we could have maybe won 4 more games if Rodgers was
No, we
playing.
100% would have won these games.
Well, that's just not true.
If you watch these games and watch how bad Zach Wilson has been,
Yeah, the quarterback play has been disgusting.
exactly.
Your defense keeps
Tell me
winning
we
games.
don't beat the Patriots in week 2 with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, you win.
Back the fuck up. But it is concerning.
I'm just saying, you guys have no line.
We have no line.
Yeah, what's going on in Patriot land, huh?
That's disgusting. The fact
Yeah,
that
so they're getting rid of
they're
Bill,
trying
huh?
to win fucking games. It makes no fucking sense. They're trying to win
because
games.
Bill wants to spite them on the way out.
It's what it sounds like, man. Because he might be going to the Rams, not the Rams.
I think
Someone wants him.
pushing out a coach that has 6 rings is just, it will never make sense to me.
Well,
I don't care
Pittsburgh
how
fans want to
bad
get rid
they've
of Mike
been.
Tomlin.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like they win 9 games every year. My team hasn't made the playoffs in over a decade. Sometimes just be thankful for what you got.
Dude, yeah. The scapegoating.
I don't want to see him gone. We have no quarterback, no offense. We never draft a receiver. We never pick
It
up
is
a
official,
receiver.
though, right? He's not coming back?
Not official, but
Oh, it's just been reported, right?
Yeah.
Dude, he went to the fucking Rams with, no, not the
It
Rams.
wasn't the Rams. I forget
the
what team.
Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Ooh.
That'd be nasty.
Bill with another, with
the
a
Chargers have a dog shit roster.
I didn't know that.
good quarterback, though.
I didn't know that the Chargers took that head coach and he had no experience whatsoever.
What was that?
Would Peyton Manning say he was going to be good or something?
That's something I want to talk about too. What if Sean Payton coming out and
Oh,
shitting
God.
all over the fucking?
What a scumbag.
He is a scumbag.
Yeah.
He does a shit job.
It's just classless.
Yeah.
It's like I feel bad
Because
for
Russ hasn't been that bad, or he's
I
been
thought he had a good
okay.
year this
He's
year.
been all right.
Yeah.
He's just. I feel bad for Russ though, but he's just such a corny individual that kind of root for his downfall in a way. But
Would you take
After
Russ
all-
on your team right now?
over Rodgers next year, no.
No.
Like this year,
Yeah.
if we had Russell Wilson, maybe we win 2 more games. I still don't think we make the playoffs. He's played okay, but he still sometimes is pretty bad. Just a weird.
I feel like he gives up on the play too fast.
I'm not going to ask Aaron because I know he's going to defend him. Don't you think Rodgers is the most annoying attention whore in all of sports?
I'm getting sick of hearing about him, to be honest with you. Not even from a Patriots
I used to
fan
love
perspective.
Rodgers
Just-
too.
He's everywhere, dude. I can't take hearing him anymore.
It's not his fault.
But I can't tell if he's genuinely like this or not. Like he's acting like this
He's
head
kept his
honcho
name
type,
in the
you know?
headlines all season. He's
Yeah.
played 5 minutes.
He's trying to keep the troops inspired.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. He's trying to, it can get depressing, having to
Watching
suit up
that.
every week for fucking Trevor Siemian. You got to remind everyone, like, hey, don't worry, I'm coming back.
I feel bad for Salah, man.
Is he
might
getting
be,
the boot?
He might be.
No.
They're saying no.
They're all
but
staying, man.
He might be a very bad coach. And that hurts me to say because I like him, but he does some stupid shit. The team's undisciplined. They make 0 adjustments.
It just sucks that this whole year was catered to Rodgers, so you don't really know how good your team is because everything was based off of him, and you didn't have him all year. So it's like, how can you really see what you have? You bring in 3 receivers for Rodgers that will only be good with Rodgers.
It's the name of the game. 2024, our year.
Sorry.
This question here, another sports question from Franz. LeBron versus Father Time.
LeBron's winning.
He's holding him off. He's
But he
doing a
already
good job.
he already won.
When do you? Yeah,
Like
that's
Brady-
a question. When do
Brady
you win?
already won. Like,
When do you beat Father Time? When
I
you
think when you win a Super Bowl at 42, like, yeah, you beat Father Time.
like if LeBron retires next year, did he beat Father Time, or does he have to go longer?
No, when you look at other
Right,
players'
right,
careers at this age, great players, all-time greats, and compare it to LeBron, it's not even close.
No.
Yeah, but if he retired, he won. at
Shaq
that
was
point.
bad for like 6 years, just floating around. Like,
So if he goes another year and starts looking bad, Father Time won at that point.
Yeah, I guess eventually Father Time's always going to win. What he's done, it's just a victory in itself.
I mean, I think Braun has 10 more years.
He looks physically like he could play another 3 to 4 at a high level, which is just disgustingly absurd. I mean, hey, dude, he's becoming legend in the sense of taking care of your body. It's similar to the Jordan work ethic stories. It's similar to Mamba mentality, just a guy who's kept himself in pristine shape.
dude, that's what I hate when people are like, oh, but Kobe, the Jordan mentality, like going to the gym at 4:30 in the morning, and like, that's all well and good, but LeBron's like investing millions of dollars a year, and
Yeah,
obviously has been able to hold up, so it's like, yeah, he obviously takes it super seriously as well.
Which I'm sure he's a fucking gym rat too. You just don't hear the stories like that. What Kobe's done.
right. Yeah, and I think he's approached it differently. Like some players just aren't meant to be automatic snipers from the mid range. So people are like, oh, why didn't LeBron ever, work really hard on his mid range? It's like you can, and like Steph Curry didn't work his way to being the best 3-point shooter of all time. He's just got the best hand-eye coordination in NBA history and a form that never changes. It's not a form that you would teach a kid how to shoot that way. That's just how he was fucking programmed.
Mhm.
So
It's the way he shoots.
it's always something with LeBron or LeChina. Uh,
I still like Squeaky because he's testing the floor out.
LeSqueaky.
That's one thing that hasn't gotten old.
The lace.
It's so fucking funny. I mean, a good lay something is always fucking hilarious.
With a video of him doing whatever it is. Yeah.
Oh, good question here from Redneck Remy. What is your favorite movie that probably won't win any Oscars this past year? John Wick Chapter 4.
Yeah. I feel like we're starting to get like, people are actually like talking about it. Like I think we've always talked about it as something that got like those type of movies getting snubbed, especially when it comes to like cinematography or the lack of an award for stunts. But I think a lot of people are starting to realize and be towards that side. So hopefully like the tide changes just in public opinion when it comes to like, yeah, the Mission Impossibles, the John Wicks, like they should be getting more respect when it comes to these more prestigious awards. But as far as one that's like probably going to get nominated but not win, I don't know. I feel like Oppenheimer is trending to have a pretty good night. But I do think like when you look at Killers of the Flower Moon, I think that's one that might get shut out of a lot of things.
How was that movie? I haven't seen it yet.
It was good.
Yeah.
I heard it was just really long.
But like going into the year, Lily Gladstone's probably going to win actress. Never mind. I'll take that back.
How was Leo in it?
He was good.
Yeah.
He was very good.
I was thinking more like Best Picture or like maybe Scorsese getting a Best Director. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, that's probably not going to happen. Yeah, the late Scorseses really just, they never win.
I think Barbie's going to win. But maybe costume, stuff like that. But in
Best
terms
original
of
song, maybe.
directing, acting, picture.
No.
Yeah, me neither.
I still think Ryan Gosling has a shot. You never know how it's going to shape up.
He's probably like fourth or fifth. Like in the beginning, like he might have topped some lists, but maybe fighting for a nomination at this point. I think he gets in there, but there's always those movies that come out of nowhere. Like, well, not out of nowhere, but before May, December really came out, it was like, oh yeah, it's Downey's to lose. Now Melton might be the favorite or someone else.
Poor Robert Downey Jr.
What's your pick to win Best Picture?
I think Oppenheimer's going to win it.
Yeah.
I hope it just fucking smashes.
Have you hit 5 movies this year watched?
No. That's why I haven't said anything.
Have you watched one movie this year?
I don't think so. I'm thinking about it right now.
That's so fucking funny.
I know.
But you watched The House of Usher.
I did.
Yeah.
We're going to review that soon?
It was pretty good, right? We could just review it right now.
Pretty good. I thought it was amazing. I recommended it to everybody.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the best out of those.
What?
That little pocket.
No, not
I think
the
Midnight
best out
Mass,
of them.
Hill
I thought
House
they were
is
good,
better. I think it's like kind of with Bly Manor, maybe.
I just thought it was interesting. Did a good take on like a...
Yeah, that's become a reoccurring thing now. The family patriarch leaving behind his fortune, kids fighting for the fortune.
Do you think people are starting to turn on Oppenheimer a little?
I haven't really seen that.
So the more I think it's just a perfect movie, but I have a sense because like just not everybody, but there seems to be like a small sect of like weird gatekeepers that once a movie gets too popular or Nolan is kind of this commercial director for a lot of indie people now. Like it's just that fact alone will drive people to be like, oh well, yeah, Oppenheimer's, oh yeah, sure, that's good, but have you seen these 3 movies that it's like just because a movie is more popular, I feel like some people just tend to look at it in a negative light just for that reason alone.
Yeah, it's like people saying they don't like Forrest Gump.
That is... What?
People saying that they don't like Forrest Gump. That's not a good movie.
What's wrong with that? I mean, that is
a
the
great
most overrated movie of all time. It's not even fucking close.
I just love Forrest Gump.
Is there anything
Speaking
better?
of which, someone just said the most mid movie in recent years, Oppenheimer.
I mean, Oppenheimer got such overwhelming critical praise that it's kind of natural, but I feel like for the most part, that's a movie that the discourse surrounding Oppenheimer hasn't annoyed me much.
Obama liked it.
That stupid list that he released with 3 of his own movies. And first of all, Leave the World Behind was terrible. I'm not sure. Oh, Rustin, I've heard it was okay.
What list did he put out?
It is funny picturing Obama when he does release these, like just picturing him watching some of these movies. A lot of people were making the joke, but like, what was the message you think he took away from Oppenheimer?
I mean, dude, when Game of Thrones was out, all the politicians just talked about how much they loved Game of Thrones, and everybody was wondering, like, I wonder why. Do you see yourself in some of these characters? That's what Obama said, that his favorite character was Tyrion. He also had Air. You didn't see Air, right?
No.
That's a movie that I find overrated by a lot of people. I'm picturing, like, who would you rather, and it's a clear right answer, who would you rather watch a movie with, Biden or Obama? I feel like Biden would just have...
Biden's barely a functioning person anymore, so probably Biden.
I know, yeah, but I feel like he would just be fun to watch a movie with. He would just get blown away by things. Like when Obama would like have his fingers crossed watching like the Trinity site, Biden would get fucking hyped when he sees that shit.
He'd probably be like, why didn't they show
you see that go off?
The bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Biden was like, why'd they leave that out? That's my favorite part. When all the innocent kids get dismembered.
You'd be surprised if they dropped the bomb.
Yeah, but every year there are so many good movies that don't win. I think Across the Spider-Verse is going to be a movie that maybe was the favorite when it came out for Best Animated, and now it's might lose to Miyazaki. That's just how it goes. Some people would argue Spider-Verse is good enough for a Best Picture nod.
That'll never happen.
That's another one you gotta watch.
Yeah. What do you think's going to make it instead, Ted?
I don't know. I just know a movie like that won't win.
I would like you to... You don't have a letterbox, right, Teddy?
No.
Can you make one? But like post honestly?
I have to watch movies.
I know. I just want to see like how sporadic and what you choose to watch. So your first movie in 2 months.
It is
like
very sporadic.
Just 4 movies.
Like yesterday, I put on
four Forrest Gumps.
Yesterday I watched Pirates of the Caribbean.
See, that's hilarious.
I was just sitting down and I was scrolling through Disney Plus. I'll throw this on, and I watched that for a little bit. And I fell asleep.
This question here from Omar. What are you guys personally looking forward to next year? For me, this is from Omar. It's The Boys and Deadpool.
Definitely the boys. I was just gonna say they gotta kill Homelander this season.
You can't.
You have to.
No, you can't,
I feel like
because how are you going to do season 5?
I feel like that's the show. Like, he's just the bad guy.
What are they booked in for? 5, 6 seasons? What are they in for?
I think it's 5. Yeah.
No, then you can't kill him this year. Then you gotta kill him next. You gotta kill him the next one.
House of the Dragon's coming back. What's anything else get pushed back?
I guess Dune got pushed back and now moved up.
Are they bringing Hugh Jackman in Deadpool 3?
Yeah, they are.
No.
What?
No, where'd you get that from?
I was asking.
Ridiculous. Said he was never playing Wolverine again.
Never say never. Money talks.
This happened like months ago.
I didn't know. That's what I'm saying. I just heard it.
Oh, well, I guess anything else you guys are looking forward to? Yeah, I guess Dune 2. Oh, God, it's going to be so funny to listen to people talk about Dune 2. All the fucking hypocrites. What else am I looking forward to?
Jets season, the draft.
God, NFL draft, so overrated. It's so boring. I don't know any of these guys.
I know.
Just have Mel Kiper tell
That's
me.
the best part. You don't know a lick about these players.
Your team
And
drafts
you
them.
think like, yo, they're going to be fucking sick.
This might be the one.
Yo, you see those combine numbers? He's going to be a problem.
The 40 is such a joke.
Next
how they
playoffs,
put so much on it.
2024, our year.
Oh, yeah. Somebody asked, what do the Knicks need to do to help Brunson?
Get DeMar Rosen.
Oh,
DeRozan.
God. It said, who do the Knicks need to bring in to help Brunson?
DeMar DeRozan.
Embiid.
There's a package in for him right now. You hear about that?
Whew, DeMar DeRozan. Does it include Zach LaVine?
No.
Then I don't want it. No, I think
It includes Drummond.
it sucks because it felt like there was a 5 or 6 year period of just every superstar who was great asking out at one point, and the Knicks were just never
Ready?
relevant,
Yeah.
never had pieces.
KD wants out of the Suns, apparently.
Right. There's just nobody like the Mavericks. I was hoping maybe the Mavericks would just suck completely, like dumpster fire, but Luka's just too good for that. Same thing with the Sixers. They got better.
He also came out and said he's not leaving the Mavs either.
Well,
Anything could happen, I guess, right?
yeah. I think you wait till 2025. It's a good free agent class. Your core, Randall will be about 30, and everybody else will be under 30. Brunson will be about 28. RJ quickly. Well, quickly, who knows? That's what they should do.
What, send him?
No, just play quickly more.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, oh, if there was only another scoring option that the Knicks had,
No, he has to be a 6-man. He's not allowed to start.
I would make him the third option over RJ at this point. I think he's more reliable.
So he needs to drive. RJ just like doesn't. He needs to drive to the basket more. He always wants the 3-ball. He's not consistent enough at the 3 to keep shooting. He needs to be ball on the floor, drive to the basket every time. Unless you're wide open for a 3.
I think RJ's like he feels he has the third overall expectations, so he
Yeah.
plays a certain way. Somebody needs to just pull him by the ear and say, just defend and rebound, and the rest of the game will come to you. You're such a big, strong guy, and you never use that to your advantage in other aspects of the game,
Right.
except on fast break drives.
Yeah, he's just worried about scoring.
Yeah. So like, you just need to make an impact, dude.
I'll tell you what, though. That Jalen Brunson deal might be the best deal in NBA history.
That was a steal. Too good to be true, almost. The Knicks never.
I'm waiting for the fall off. Something to happen. I'm waiting for the reason why that trade went through.
No, dude, he's an absolute pleasure to watch. The footwork on that man is unbelievable. Body coordination, so skilled.
Those are my favorite type of athletes. Like, you look at them and you're like, yeah, you know.
Yeah. No, he's not intimidating whatsoever.
Well, it's almost like you look at the
Barely
Mavs
6
and ask
foot.
why they let go of him. Like, what's the reason they let go of him? Like, you really didn't sign this guy?
I think it was also Brunson wanted out. Not because it was
Wanted to be the
things
one.
weren't going well. Yeah, you come to New York, you become a bigger star, number
True.
one option.
Yeah, he's not controlling the ball with Luka in Dallas. So.
Yeah. And he could play the 2. That's what was so impressive about him in Dallas. Is such a young guy, just playing off ball, playing well. So who knows? Maybe when Luke is a free agent.
But can
one
we
of
get the
Lakers.
one fucking free agent that's going to go off and not be a bust? Can we get that one guy? We never get him.
Dude, just the draft, not taking Halliburton. What the fuck?
Even in the draft, too, like you're just saying. Like, can we draft one fucking player that will last here and be good?
You ever think about if you can just go back in time 10 years, just how good of a GM you would be? But you would never be able to get that job.
Oh,
It's like, I can
that
go
hurts.
back right
Can you
now,
convince the GM
10
to
years
pick?
in the past, put it out there on Twitter or like make a website about these are the best players and be right on everything, picking second round picks, saying Giannis is going to be the best player and, the Joker is going to be the best player in the league and stuff like that, and just nail it every time. And you probably just wouldn't get a GM job anywhere.
No, yeah, that would suck.
And the same
You'd
thing.
just have all that knowledge.
If I snapped my
Make it
fingers and had the skill set of Christian McCaffrey, I wouldn't be able to play in the NFL. What would I do? Just show up to a practice one day and be like, hey, look, I'm
You're saying right now, if you
I snap my fingers, I have the speed, the strength.
social media would be able to get you out there and maybe get you a tryout, I feel like.
I'm like, oh, look how fast
you're
I
that
am. Look
good.
how strong I am. Can I play running back for your team? Like, get the fuck out of here.
but now you can make a highlight reel for yourself. And it's easy enough for them to look
You
at.
could also play
What am I gonna
amateur.
what am I going to make
Yeah.
a highlight reel? Yeah, me doing like trying out for arena football. Like, okay, he's good at arena football, but he's also 30 years old and has never played a lick of college football or high school football. So, like, you just
what
wouldn't-
about the Mark Wahlberg movie? Wasn't
Yeah.
he a walk-on?
It was like the
It's
70s.
open
He was
tryouts.
delivering papers.
They don't
Open
have that
tryouts
anymore.
Don't they still do open tryouts for the NFL?
I was about to
I thought
ask.
that was still a thing.
I'm about to ask you that. Can teams do, can an NFL team just say, we're going to do an open tryout for our team? Or an NBA team or anyone? Hockey? Can a team just come out
It
and
would
say,
be
we're going to do an
much
open tryout?
easier to wiggle your way into the NFL with McCaffrey's skill set than become a GM 10 years ago.
I don't know. I think basketball maybe because you can just that's something you could do where like
But
I snap my
basketball is such
fingers,
a...
I have LeBron's skill set and I'm just jumping out of the gym on like Twitter or something and like I feel like people will be like, oh, it's pretty cool.
Why wouldn't that work for the NFL?
Because I don't think there's any like rec leagues or like tournaments. Like if you're good enough, like and play
But can't you play in the Rocks League and just dominate?
Yeah.
maybe, but I feel like you can like get your way into like some amateur tournament in basketball where like you play with like either ex players or current players like in the off season. And if you dominate one of those, and people will be like, holy shit, like
I don't know. The amount of videos I've seen from like semi-pro leagues and like AA leagues, whatever you want to call them,
no,
these
actually,
guys are nasty.
Everything back.
And they won't
It's-
sniff an
it's-
NBA.
It's baseball.
floor.
Baseball would be
Because
the
if I
hardest,
can just show
without
up
a doubt.
with a scout with a gun and I'm throwing 98, I'm going to get signed to a roster.
Oh, you're saying it's the easiest.
Easiest. 100%.
Okay. Yeah, maybe pitching.
Because all you only need is a radar gun. If you throw 98, they can be like, okay, we'll give you a tryout or something like that. And you're not being Ohtani.
What a joke that fucking guy is.
This question here from Josh was
So
Rebel...
Being a sports fan is so funny. She's like, yo, fuck you, Ohtani. And if you did that with the Yankees, you'd be like, yo, that's fucking clutch.
Be like, well, it's legal.
Best move of all time.
Sorry
go,
you didn't
Cashman.
think about it.
Can New York do it? Is that a thing that, or can all states
But
do
the
that?
thing with that's what
Or is that a California thing?
What makes it so fucked up is because Otani's in a special position of being Ohtani. You can do it when you're the biggest star in the game. Juan Soto's not doing that shit. Juan Soto's not to keep all my money and give it to me on the last day
Right.
because I'm not getting Ohtani commercials and sponsorships.
Yeah, that's true too.
You know, I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
considered the best player of my generation. That's why it's such a privileged move. It's
Good
a
for him.
loophole. They exploited it. Sure. But, now they sign Yamamoto and it's barely any hit on their cap. So they can fuck off. And you know what? Now you're not getting the interest, Ohtani, you bitch. Great player, though. He's not hitting next year, right?
Not pitching.
He's not pitching, right?
He's probably hit like fucking 60 tanks.
This question here from Josh. Is Rebel Moon the worst movie of all time?
I haven't seen it.
Did
Have
you
you?
see this? Oh, it's a new Zack Snyder Netflix movie. It was maybe the worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah.
Well, you are a Snyder
How do
guy.
you get yourself through like watching movies like that?
Well, that one was fun to watch because it was the same formula throughout the movie. It was like a character would be introduced and they would like talk about the politics of the world, and then that character would do something awesome and he would join the team.
That's cool.
Rinse, repeat for 2 hours. Like they just meet a new character, he'd be like, I'm Charlie Hunnam. Like, you're on the team.
You're on.
That's kind of what Oppenheimer was.
No, yeah, I guess that was one of the criticisms for Oppenheimer.
Was it?
That it was just moving too fast. There was just too much information. I didn't mind it. I thought it was handled well. My criticism of Nolan became one of his strengths in that movie. I say sometimes his movies play like trailers. Inception's, I think, the worst example of that. It doesn't feel like a movie whatsoever. It's just a trailer. Oppenheimer also feels like that, but it really benefits the story because there's so many things he wants to hit. And for me, it was just a very easy pill to swallow. I guess for other people, which was, I think when you're tackling that much, you're always going to get people who are going to say that's too much. But for the most part, most people think he pulled it off. I mean, I do. What was he? Yeah, Rebel Moon. Pretty.
Movies like that, do you want to watch it and see how bad it is? Is that what intrigues you to watch?
I thought, dude, I'm
Movies like
always ready for a new Zack Snyder. I'm always ready to give it a chance.
Yeah.
Army of the Dead. Same thing.
I like that movie. That was
Same
good.
exact thing. I'm like, yo, this premise sounds fucking awesome. Of a heist in a zombie world, and it was terrible.
Oh, that hurts for me. Huh?
I hype up same thing. Rebel Moon.
I
When
thought
we
it was
talked about
alright.
the trailer, we were like, we're gonna give it a chance.
Yeah.
This could be some dumb fun, and it just wasn't fun.
It was just dumb.
Yeah. This question here from Spencer: have you guys seen The Wire?
Yes.
And if so, where would you rank it amongst the other great shows?
Definitely top 5.
Yeah, it's on the Mount Rushmore. I recently rewatched The Wire, and it was so good. Just incredible. Very funny. I think people don't give it enough credit, similar to Sopranos. Not quite as funny as Sopranos, but it's got a lot of wit to it.
Sopranos really is the funniest show of all time.
Yeah, HBO, man, really just... It's got the top 3, probably. Top 3 of the 4, depending if you want to put Breaking Bad in those conversations.
I think you have to. Because even when you look at The Wire and Sopranos, I think there are still some dips in quality. Not too big, but they noticeable. Whereas I think Breaking Bad is probably one of the few shows that start to finish is just... It arguably gets better.
It definitely gets better as the seasons go on. Fucking HBO could have had Breaking Bad. Imagine they had that on their roster.
What, they say no to the script or something?
They said no to it, yeah. Vince Gilligan said that at the meeting, the person he was pitching to could barely care about what he was saying. It was
Really?
totally just dismissed him, blew him off.
That's got to be the best feeling ever.
Yeah.
And just make Breaking Bad.
I know, right? Yeah, eat your heart out, motherfucker.
I always wonder how they pitch these things. Because it's so hard to explain what you're trying to do or what you see for the show, the character, and all these things. Like to
Intriguing.
verbalize Walter White's like the characterization and what you plan on doing with his arc through the course of how you see it going over however many seasons. It's just so hard to talk about. Like, what do you do? She's like, oh yeah, so it's like this chemistry teacher and he has cancer and like he can't afford it, so he decides to cook meth.
I think he just did it.
And you're like, okay, all right.
Yeah, you got to sell it as something it's not. It's a crime show. The Mexican cartel.
Yeah.
The New Mexico mafia battling for supremacy in the wars focused on meth dealing. And somebody's like, cartel? Meth? Yeah.
We can sell that.
Look at Daniel Day.
It's like, it's going to start off as this dark comedy, but then transform into something else, and the character is going
bored.
to...
Boring.
You lost me. You lost me
Where's
at
the
dark comedy.
violence? Where's the...
No, I'm getting to that.
Is this like Friends?
This is character Ted.
Get real deep.
And she fucks him. She fucks Ted. You're just gonna hate the wife character. I tell you what.
I just
She's
told
gonna
you
be
really
that.
just
nagging
it
and
is.
yapping and blah blah blah.
I think it was so funny. Like I was telling you this the other day. Like why did I not like Skylar? Like
How we always talk about it. It's just
what did she do to get not liked?
she wants her husband not to deal meth, and everyone's just like, "Yo, shut up."
Wants to have a happy life with the husband and son.
It's just these shows they set up those type of characters to lose because a lot of viewers lose the plot. It's like when you watch Goodfellas and you're like, oh, fucking Henry Hill's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's a cautionary tale. So as much as you want to root for these characters, like, oh, hell yeah. It's like, well, no, focus in on like what
What he's actually
the
doing.
story they're trying to tell. It's like, no, he's in the wrong most times.
Yo, but she was dirty too. That's why she was annoying. I think it's more so on the writing.
That's a good point.
Because she loved helping out,
Cooking the books.
and then
yeah.
being like, we can't do this anymore. But whenever I think of Skylar, I just think of, that was just her face.
Yeah,
for every
yeah.
reaction was,
Doesn't know what to say.
Marie was just a better character. Hateable.
Marie, I hate
Because
it.
she was just, she
on
felt
top.
more
She was
human.
on point. No, I feel like she was on point. That's why you didn't like her either.
Well, I wasn't really much into
She was
like,
always on top of Walter.
the weeds, and like when it came to Ozark, I just kind of watched it and that was that. Like I didn't really see what people thought about it or anything, but like I kind of like the Wendy Bird character.
Yeah.
Like her transitioning to be like just even worse than her husband.
Yeah, and I've heard people say the point was that Walter and Skylar were never supposed to be together. So that's why they have such bad chemistry. I don't know if that's something that they're just... after the fact,
I
trying
think
to
that's
push.
like a typical like realistic depiction of like middle-aged
Yeah.
married people who are just like, I don't know, we kind of just got married because we were supposed to, and I'm sure like, we like each other.
No,
but,
no,
like,
definitely.
there's no spark or energy in there.
No, I mean,
Well,
you guys
yeah.
are young. You guys are in your mid-20s, right? 27, 28?
28.
That's like when Walter like
That's way different. You could tell Walter and Skylar. Look at,
Yeah.
I mean, Walt Jr., how old was he?
He was in
23.
high school. No, he was in high school.
I know.
So-
But like when
Like
Walter
17,
comes,
18.
but I think that's what they were trying to show. Like when Walter comes home after, I forget what he does, but he does something like really cool. So he comes home and he's like, "Yeah, I'm about to have sex with Skylar."
And she just wasn't into it, right?
But
Or no,
isn't-
she was.
No, she wasn't to it.
Remember when he tried to kiss the principal?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he was feeling himself.
He was so bad at reading people in certain situations. Whenever he had violent intentions, perfect.
Yep.
But
I love the
like-
flashbacks when he's at with Gray Matter.
Yeah.
It's like that's like hell yeah. You can see that Walter White like
Oh no, he was very smooth.
yeah.
Yeah, Bryan Cranston's got that in his bag.
When he's just like middle school, high school teacher Walter White, you're like it's like that meme. It's like what is it? It's like the two guys like hitting on an office worker and one's like
Oh, harassment versus flirting.
yeah, flirting versus harassment.
Yeah, that was I saw Russell Wilson and Mahomes, their stats for this year.
Those are my favorite memes. Like what one's like strong and independent, like broke ass. It's like empowering. It's like put a shirt on.
Oh, this is an interesting question from Amaze Me. What were your favorite costumes from movies or TV this year? Poor Ted. You have a favorite jersey?
What do you mean? Like,
sports jersey, new alternate jerseys? You like the Knicks City jerseys?
no, I hate all those.
Okay.
Some of the NBA jerseys are
This is
so
gross.
garbage.
Like that, the Nets Bed-Stuy
Nets
one.
one is pretty bad, yeah.
And even the NFL, like a lot of times their alternates or just blow away the originals. But it's not like in the sense of like it being the best costume, but I do get a kick out of Oppenheimer's, like just that style. Tall ass pants, little ass tie.
Yeah, it's fun. Poor Things had good costuming.
Oh yeah, that did. That was just a fun world.
Yeah, no, everything about that movie. Set design was pretty incredible.
It's gonna be between that and Barbie. I see a lot of people talking about,
I would
especially when
definitely
it comes to
give it to that.
costumes. When you look at like good costumes, you look for innovation or like uniqueness or like perfect for that time, as if it's like a period piece or like
Yeah.
fitting the story.
Well, I know some of the costuming in Poor Things wasn't actually fitting the era. The costume designer talked about that.
Oh yeah, no,
And
it was
you don't
very
really
unique
notice
and
it.
vibrant and just fit like what that world was going for.
Yeah, no, I think when a movie's told that well, when you know what you're going for, it works.
Yeah, like compare that to like a film like Maestro. Like they, in my mind, like you don't really notice it, but like maybe someone else looks at it like, oh, that's very fitting for that era. Like that's spot on. You know?
Right. Asteroid City.
Mm-hmm.
They had some cool fits. I mean, Wes always dresses his people up.
That's a movie that's gonna probably piss me off too. Like when that gets a nomination spot over, not Asteroid City, Maestro, whatever.
Oh, that
'Cause
seems
it's gonna
to be
get nominated,
just,
and then it's gonna be like, well, Godzilla -1, what the fuck? Because that's gonna get in, and I think if
Maestro.
Barbie gets nominated too, that's gonna be one that like people are gonna look at like, oh, Barbie doesn't deserve a nomination, but it's like, no, it deserves one. Maybe you can make that case, but like, there's another more glaring one that doesn't belong here. That's gonna get in over Zone of Interest or Anatomy of a Fall or something like that.
I guess it's just Bradley Cooper's time to win an Oscar. That's gonna be funny when he wins Best Actor.
I'm gonna be so fucking pissed.
Who was last year's winner? It was Brendan Fraser, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Even like Jeffrey Wright, like people don't talk about him being in the category.
yeah, that had a little momentum, but yeah.
Put him over fucking Bradley Cooper's ass.
I was going to say Bradley Cooper couldn't do American Fiction, but I think he could. It would be very weird.
I think he could do, yeah.
And I think Jeffrey Wright could do Bernstein.
I think people would be upset though. Bradley Cooper, American Fiction.
No, more people would be upset about Wright doing Bernstein.
Actually, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
That would be the more egregious one. I had some dickhead comment on my Instagram, made a fake account, anonymous. It was me ranting about how Will Smith felt like he couldn't play Superman because he was black. And he was like, oh, he commented on my picture, of course. I've always wanted to see Martin Luther King played by a white guy. Would that be okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm so fucking sure you grew up just, Daddy, when will Martin Luther King be able to be played by a white guy? Because that's the perfect comparison to make to somebody who would like to see a black Superman. When you know that millions of kids have wished to see a black Superman. But yeah, no, you, of course, you were raised wanting to see a white Martin Luther King. I wonder if there's a difference between a fictional alien and a real person. God, it's almost like you know, if you're playing a real person, you want to maybe have the same hair color, maybe the same skin tone. I fucking can't. Of course, it was an anonymous account too. Fucking coward.
Ryan Gosling could probably do it though.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling as Obama. This question here from Nelly is Bo cheating at fantasy. You heard about this? I'm dominating the Nerd Soup Fantasy League.
What fantasy league is this?
One of our patrons wanted to make a fantasy league, so me and Aaron did it with
What the hell?
like 10 of our patrons. 12-man league, I think.
Beat me in the playoffs last week. My own guy too, Brees Hall, is putting up 50 on my ass.
Yeah.
Why wasn't I asked?
I think we did ask you.
No, you didn't.
Oh, you know what it was? I didn't want to make it like a 14 league, so I didn't want to include all 4 of us, and like I wanted to give more patrons a spot. I wanted to be like a patron thing.
That's a good fallback. Who's on your team?
Josh Allen, McCaffrey, Brees Hall have been carrying me.
Nice.
And Dak. I switch in Dak for Allen when Dak's playing a worse team.
It's a good draft.
No, Dak had like a nice 3-week run for me. That's what I always do in fantasy. I take 2 good QBs.
Well, something like I heard like 54% of McCaffrey owners made the playoffs.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. You think he's winning MVP?
I think it's Lamar now.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Lamar ripped that shit from Purdy.
Ted, somebody here wants you to watch Talk to Me. And I think you would like it. Horror movie.
Is it on Netflix?
I think it is streaming now.
I was so happy I held out on Super Mario Bros.
You finally watched it?
Yeah, I watched it like a couple weeks ago. But I didn't want to pay to go see it. I was like, I'm going to hold out, maybe see it on streaming. And I held out and then went to streaming.
Why did you send Kay to this question?
I thought you recorded yesterday.
Oh, you thought we were doing it without you?
Yeah.
This question here from Leva. Do you think people will look back on Oppenheimer as an overrated film like Interstellar? Interstellar was way more polarizing when it first came out. I think more people like it now. I don't think Oppenheimer. That's going to happen with Oppenheimer. Like I said, the discourse has never gotten to a point where it's so stupid and annoying. I think the biggest discourse I've seen is over the politics of the movie, but that's a conversation that's never going to make it to the mainstream. So for the most part, it seems to be smooth sailing. And as the years go by, no, I think people are going to look back on it very fondly. It's another movie you should watch.
Oppenheimer?
3 hours. Goes by fast, though.
It does.
I think that's why I haven't watched it yet.
It's so good.
I mean, I got to allocate my time wisely. 3 hours?
I saw
That's a lot of time.
Saltburn recently. You didn't like it, right?
It's kind of split on it.
Yeah.
A 3-hour movie will be like 1 hour a day for me,
Miniseries.
unfortunately.
I did enjoy it more than
Not even about not being able to watch it or not thinking it's good or not. It's just, with Amelia devoting 3 hours.
Yeah, she screwed you with Triple R.
Yeah.
I think there was one review I saw that like
I almost had it, man. I almost got it.
Triple R.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. But yeah, I saw someone say it's like I understand all the criticisms of the movie, but like I just liked it. I think that's like the same thing that happened to me with Saltburn.
Yeah, I could see that.
I just like seeing him be a weird little guy, and that's okay.
The dinner scene was hilarious. Richard E. Grant is just one
There
of
were
my
some
favorite
very
actors.
funny moments in that movie.
Yeah. No, Rosamund Pike and Richard E. Grant, I thought like everything with their characters was really funny.
Or even like the snobby best friend.
Yeah, he was funny.
He was fucking great.
What was his name again?
Forget the name.
He had a funny name.
But it was just so funny, like how he's just shitting on him the whole time for being poor. And like he's the one that's he's poor too. Oh man, that's
yeah. That movie for me just pulled one too many rabbits out of the hat, and it got to a point where I was just.
I didn't mind. The biggest problem I had with it was not how far they take some of those scenes, because I actually just I didn't like. It's weird to say like I enjoyed them, but it was fun watching them. Just being like how like grotesque some of them were. My biggest thing was like the ending. I think if it landed a little better, I think it could have been even a little bit higher.
No,
for me
I did. Yeah, I thought the ending kind of stunk.
than Poor Things I saw 2 nights ago. That was great.
That was much better.
Dude loves his fish lens.
Okay, final question. Then we'll wrap it for the year. Oh, I lost it. Oh, this one here from Nate. Do you think House of the Dragon could end up being better than Game of Thrones?
No.
Tough to say.
If you look
Too
at
early.
it, like if you look at it through like 4 seasons and it stays to the same standard as season 1, then you can like maybe make the argument, oh, it's a more complete show. Like it never really fell off. Like it was just really good throughout. But if you're talking about the peaks and just when it was firing at all cylinders, I don't think it's gonna
Was it peak
reach those heights.
So compare it to season 1's. Was season 1 Thrones better than season 1 House of Dragon?
Yes.
I'd say so too. You guys see where it goes from here.
No, yeah, it could potentially be. I think because if you like do 3 absolutely banger seasons,
I don't think season 1 was that far off for season 1.
people will argue it without a doubt. If it's got a better ending,
Yeah.
it's not that far off. They're not. I think Game of Thrones season 1 is better. It's like a 9 out of 10, close to a 10 out of 10. I love season 1 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And House of the Dragon was like a 7.5.
It's a solid opening season.
Yes.
Especially coming off of what the season 8's. Then you put this out. I mean,
They
I think-
needed that.
Yeah.
Because if season 1 of House of Dragon sucked, this whole franchise would have been gone.
Yeah. That may have been better for Winds of Winter coming out, but I mean, certainly, yeah, it could be better than Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones now has a weird legacy. Nobody knows where to put it. I think it's like the Ken Griffey Jr. of shows.
He went to the Reds and he
He's
fell
clearly
off.
an all-timer. Right, yeah.
He had some great seasons on the Reds.
But nobody ever says, I mean, some people do. And some people say this about Game of Thrones too. You
Best
get
player of all time.
he's the best player of all time. He's the best that I've seen with my own two eyes.
Griffey gets that a lot.
But when you talk to like the historians,
Oh, yeah.
he just hasn't done enough, you know?
It's a good comparison.
But it's like
Even though he's done a lot.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, kind of.
You can argue, like, you can make a very good argument that Kevin Durant is the best basketball player of all time. He's not. And when you, like, start breaking it down and argue with, like, compare him with Jordan and LeBron, but there's a route you can go just the way he plays the game and how effective he is, his body type and all that things. And you could probably get a lot of people on your side. Maybe when they first hear that being like, oh, that's ridiculous. But when you start breaking it down, you might be like, okay, I see where you're coming from there.
No, that's a good one too, because Durant's got a weird legacy.
Those are my favorite type of players, though, when people are like debating best of all time. I like Kareem. It's like you really can't say anything about it, even though it's like not said. Or like with baseball, like the one like a Willie Mays or Ted Williams.
No, Willie Mays is really up there,
Or the
though.
person who throws out like Lawrence Taylor for football.
No, you can't say nothing against that. I think the NBA, you know, I think Jordan's comfortably better than Kareem. I think sometimes people push that a little bit too far, but he's definitely in the conversation with him.
Yeah, but hopefully House of the Dragon, if it ends up at the end of the day being an argument, then that's just a good thing. Speaking of Game of Thrones, did we talk about my trivia win?
No,
Yeah.
I don't think we did.
No, yeah, that's a pretty big deal.
Oh, this is the trivia you invited me to?
Yeah.
At the local?
Yeah.
How was it? Was
Free
it
money.
hard? Or was it just like all these people are normies?
There was
This
a
is
lot of
really easy.
normie. It was like, who played Ned Stark? Who did Sean Bean play? And there was like, who said this line? And it was just like a 2-sentence throwaway line from season 4 that like, I don't know. No one knows. Or like, how many soldiers were like in the Second Sons? It's like, I don't know.
2000, right?
That's what I put, but it was more.
Damn, I don't know Game of Thrones.
But it was just like shit. Like it would just hit you with like, who did Sophie Turner play? And it's like, what did Tyrion have for breakfast in season 2, episode 4? I'm like, oatmeal? I don't know.
I always remember he had the bacon burnt to a crisp.
Yeah, that was in the pilot, I think.
That motherfucker woke up for breakfast. He was in such a good mood, and then it was all downhill from there for everything that he ever did. All right, guys, that does it for our final episode of Nerd Suit for 2023.
No, it
Teddy,
wasn't. It was the second episode because that was after Brandon got pushed out the window.
yes.
Stupid.
Final episode of 2023. Ted, thank you for joining us on this final episode. We'd love to get you back this time next year.
Can you set me
2024
up at the house?
When do,
No, I'll come by one of these days.
should we give him a movie to watch? So
Yeah, what do you want to watch and
You
review?
can come for the best movies.
What haven't you reviewed?
When we talk about the best
Oh,
movies.
watch Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
You haven't reviewed Oppenheimer yet?
No,
we're
we
gonna
have.
do like a top list, end of the year list.
I don't want it to be not Oppenheimer. I want it to be like a regular movie. And that's his best of the year.
Oh, right. No, the ones that you've seen. Super Mario Bros.
Okay.
Pick a couple others. Do Paint, Owen Wilson.
Okay.
No, if you can get up to 10 by the time we record that, get up to 5.
Yeah, what? Just
I
go,
can get the 5.
go
yeah.
on Netflix and watch the Wes Anderson, Roald Dahl shorts.
Yeah, there you go.
That's like 5 movies right there. It'll take you an hour.
Send me a list.
You've got one.
Go see
Oppenheimer.
Wonka.
No, you've got just already under your belt. You've got Super Mario Bros. So you would have to watch 4
Okay.
by sometime next week.
Send me a list.
Barbie's on HBO.
Send me a list.
I got you.
You're not going to do anything. It's just a waste of fucking breath and time.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tapping in, for subscribing, for liking, for doing all that good stuff. Hope everybody has a healthy, happy New Year.
Amelia's sick, so
My mom's sick, actually. She just
Starting
texted
off.
me. She's like, I'm sick.
that's why Elena's calling me right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I hope she's all right.
Flu.
Oh, poor kid.
What are you going to do, right?
Elena running around like SpongeBob when he has the clam.
That's literally what I'm going home to right now.
Teddy coming home after recording a podcast.
Overtime!
Wow, that was probably our best review yet. Hey guys, Aaron the Nerd Soup Monkey here with a brief shameless plug before we end the video. Do you ever feel like you don't have an adequate amount of nerd soup in your life? Like you're going to bed hungry and yearning for the nonsensical yet entertaining nutrients our podcasts provide? Well, we've come up with the perfect solution. The Nerd Soup Fan Question Podcast, exclusively available to our Patreon supporters. You can sign up now by visiting patreon.com/nerdsoup, and for the price of only $1 per month, you'll receive exclusive access to our weekly podcast where we answer your questions that don't make it to the main show. And while you're there, you can check out the other rewards we offer to our patrons, like stickers, mugs, t-shirts, behind-the-scenes footage, and appearing in the credits at the end of our videos. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. Roll the names of the nerds who make Nerd Soup possible. The reason why the crypto crash didn't send our lives spiraling down a black hole of no return. Alright, I'll stop talking so you can listen to this jazzy-ass music while checking if Bo spelt your name wrong in the credits.